you imagine your whole future could be determined by how you do in the next 2 hours, and most of Canada is either watching or will hear about it later? Well, that's why the parties have entire teams devoted to winning tomorrow night's debate and the internet wars that follow. Here are some new pics of the debate site. Preparations already well underway for tomorrow's big event. So how will the parties make their debate message go viral? Well, some things don't change: the hype, the preparation, and the search for a killer line.
That is a confession of non-leadership, and this country needs leadership. You had an option, sir. You could have done better.
He started his business with $14 million borrowed from his father.
Have you been to a food bank? Have you seen people sleeping around our station?
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47.
Jack Kennedy was a friend of mine. Senator, you're no Jack Kennedy.
Ooh. Years ago, the parties focused on spinning the debate headlines on TV and in newspapers, but now much of the after show is on social media. Sometimes debate moments go viral by accident, like remember Red Sweater Guy?
The internet has determined a clear winner. It's neither one of the candidates. It is this fine red sweater wearing man from the Midwest, Mr. Ken Bone.
What steps will your energy policy take to meet our energy needs? While at the same time
Ken Bone, he crushed that presidential debate, and it was totally organic. But often, viral moments are just the opposite, orchestrated to the teeth. Like you probably saw the two planes meme that trended on Twitter this past week. It was a highly executed move from Team Scheer at the French debate. More on the plan behind that in a second, but first, let's look back at one moment that was meticulously executed by Jack Layton's team back in 2011. His team tells us they tried to get the media to write about Liberal leader Michael Ignatьev's dismal attendance record in the House, but when they didn't bite, they focus grouped it and found regular people were enraged. Bingo.
I've got to ask you then, why do you have the worst attendance record in the House of Commons of any member of Parliament? If you want to be Prime Minister, you better learn how to be a member of Parliament first. You know, most Canadians, if they don't show up for work, they don't get a promotion.
Yikes, that really damaged Ignatieff. And then the party amplified the hit with this ad that they had all ready to go. And now, of course, with social media, the play is faster and more intense. So let's look back at that hashtag Two Planes Trudeau and how that was played.
Il y a seulement un chef ici ce soir qui a deux avions pour son campagne.
There's only one leader who has two planes, said Scheer, one for him and the media, a second one for his costumes and canoe. But that line was only part of the plan. While Scheer was talking, the party issued a press release. And then they released a video that got over 40,000 views on Twitter. And if you clicked on it, you were encouraged to sign a petition. And then this gif, Trudeau skiing on, two planes, and a bunch of memes followed. Trudeau's war room saw what was happening, and they kicked into gear with their response, saying, yeah, we have two planes, but unlike the Conservatives, we paid for carbon offsets. Meanwhile, the Liberals were trying to execute their own plan, trying to nail down Scheer on what he'd do on abortion. Step one, raise it in the debate.
Personnellement, toi, Andrew Scheer,
Step two, while he was grilling Scheer about whether he agreed with a woman's right to choose, Trudeau's team rolled out ads on social media too. Joining me now to talk about all of these strategies are three political insiders. Farouk Karim was in the war room for Tom Mulcair's campaign. He's in Ottawa. Melissa Landsman was with Stephen Harper and then with Doug Ford. She's in Toronto. And Diamond Eisinger worked with Justin Trudeau on his last campaign and joins us from Vancouver. So you guys were all involved in these campaigns. I'm sure you've been watching this one too. Melissa, I'm going to start with you because the big news that seemed to trend out of the past debate was this thing about the Trudeau's two planes. What's happening now to prepare for tomorrow's night? What's the prep going on behind the scenes?
So the campaigns want to create the circumstance where their leader can shine and they can have that knockout punch. Now, that knockout punch doesn't always happen.
So it's not about the debate, it's more about what happens after.
Well, a lot of it is what happens after. As you saw with the Plains, campaigns will try to push out that one opportunity that their leader got to attack their opponent. And the Two Plains was a perfect example where only one network got to carry the debate. So we know that the other networks can't necessarily play the whole debate, but they can play that one exchange. That one exchange got a lot of ad dollars put behind some of the sort of the viral stuff that you saw online, and that was already in the can. So they had planned this, they had executed on it, and I think that strategy worked for them, because all we talked about for the next couple days is how Justin Trudeau flies around the country in 2 airplanes. So, Diamond, obviously the Liberals, they have a war room. They have teams watching all of this. They were quick on the response about the carbon offsets and so on. You've been in these rooms. What happens? I mean, it sounds like the message is prepared. There are teams that are watching as the debate's happening. Like, what is actually going on behind the scenes that you've seen?
Well, definitely when debates are happening, all of the campaign teams are in their respective offices. They're fully staffed up on those evenings, as they will be on Monday evening. They are watching for those hot moments. They're watching for the facts that they perceive as incorrect to correct the record on from their opponents. And they're looking to quickly get material out there into the world. So that's why journalists quickly see news releases coming into their inbox or fact checks. And that's why social media is buzzing that evening. So it's really important for those campaign teams to be ready to rapidly respond and to amplify the things that they want out there and to try to squash the things that they don't.
But there's sort of a game on social media, is there not, about you want it all, as you're all saying, you want it all to be planned, but it also has to look authentic.
Well, I mean, the biggest quality a politician can have is the ability to summon authenticity by command. That's a tricky one, right? Yeah. So you can be authentic if you're genuinely authentic, obviously, and that's the best case scenario, but you have to practice to have this natural way of doing things. Even if you're preparing for debates, the line of attacks that most likely would be the viral moments of a debate, you want to make sure the timing is right, that when you say it rightly, and those things are practiced behind the scenes before the debate.
So, Melissa, I'm going to come back to you. We've sort of talked about how you make things happen during. What happens after? Because ultimately, this is about not just winning a debate, right? This is about getting people to vote for you. So what happens in the aftermath?
Well, you're exactly right. The debate strategy is obviously to win the debate, but like Farouk said, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and a lot of this is practice, and not much of it is left to chance, except, of course, whatever happens on live TV. But after the debate, you really want to frame the narrative. You really want to be out there first, pumping your candidate's best moments in the debate, pumping your opponents or your perceived, opponent, in this case for Andrew Scheer, that's Justin Trudeau, pumping out his weak moments. So how
do you do that? Like, how does that actually work, particularly in this sort of online world that we all live in now?
So there's a couple ways. There's sort of the Twitterverse, where I wouldn't say that normal everyday people spend elections on Twitter. That's really where journalists and frankly partisans live. So you've got campaigns pushing that spin on Twitter during the debate, the night of, and there are strategies like paid advertising on Facebook to really elevate those key moments in the debate that you've either planned or that have happened organically.
So, Diamond, we're seeing in this election in particular, we're seeing the explosion of memes and GIFs, and like everybody's on Instagram, it seems. Not all of a sudden, but more and more. Like, why is that, and how exactly do you figure out what works to make something fly on Instagram, for example?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there are lots of fun memes and viral moments that are circulating around the web these days. Lots of those, though, come from individuals. I think it's a lot more authentic when just random people out there seize upon the fun moments from a debate or the moments worth amplifying. I find that sometimes when campaigns do it, it can lack the same authenticity. All the way back in 2011, Jack Layton had his what he called #fail moment during a debate where he described something as a #fail, and that in that moment he was definitely trying to appeal to youth, but it didn't quite come across as the most hip and with it and trendy.
So, Melissa, we've seen in some of the ads and some of the videos, some of the press releases and so on, if you click on them, you're solicited to sign up for a petition. You click on something, you go into a database, and then someone was like, hey, I'll help you get your vote out, right? I mean, it's all about getting the vote out ultimately.
Absolutely. I think at the end of the day, all of this tries to play into galvanizing the ground game for. We've seen in this election that the polls really haven't moved despite all of the events that we've seen. You know, the 2 airplanes, the chatter about positions on abortion, the blackface, and nothing has moved the poll number. So at the end of the day, this one is going to be about who can put more votes in the box. And every one of these activities have to generate some interaction with the campaign, whether it's giving them your name, giving them your time, giving them your front lawn for a sign, or maybe even giving them your money.
So, Farouk, a lot of people are trying to reach out to the big millennial vote. I mean, how important is the GIF, finding the GIF and making it go viral?
Well, first of all, the millennial vote is important. It's the largest block of voters out there. The reality is they tend to vote less than older demographics. They did vote a lot last time in 2015. So it's important to reach them. And today, and one of the characteristics of a viral moment, it has to be a picture or video. Like, you won't have a viral moment just on words, right? That's why Instagram is really important. And people have noticed too, their Facebook feed is full now of videos and pictures. It's less and less just a little post here and there of words only. So it's really important to encapsulate your viral moment into a short video or a short graphic, so it's appealing. The attention span is really low today. So on your phone, you want to make sure you stand out.
It's also, you know, it also permeates through every part of the campaign, and the Trudeau Liberals do this quite well. When you're making announcements, it's about the picture, it's about the video, it's about the photo op. It's about me being able to scroll through my phone in the middle of a boring meeting with no volume and understand exactly what's going on. Those are the kinds of ways that the campaigns have changed, and there's some leaders that definitely do it better than others.
Well, I'm feeling very old. I'm missing the old drawn-out debates that we used to have in the old days. Now it's just a GIF. But people are paying attention, and we'll be watching to see what happens on Monday. Thanks so much.